to the Chief of Party for the Bureau of Public Safety, Dr. Nanaya Akwada. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to your listeners.
Very well. Now, this LI, when it first popped up, we saw your opposition to it. The state of the roads have not changed. The traffic situation has not changed. The only change we are seeing now is that the Chief Justice and the Speaker of Parliament have been exempted from the new road traffic regulation. First off, I'll ask for your take on this, and then we can get into the safety issues regarding the privileges that are captured in this LI.
Well, thank you very much. Let me say I have not cited this new LI that is being laid. I only heard snippets of discussions on it from Parliament, and I heard Honourable Member of Parliament Haruna Idrisu indicate that the privileges of using a motorcade, the Speaker and the Chief Justice have been exempted, and I wondered how we could pass a law that exempts the Speaker and Chief Justice from privilege that me as an ordinary citizen I can enjoy if I can pay for it or I need it. Okay, for every time someone lays in an ambulance, he's enjoying, if you like, for want of a better word, that privilege, road privilege. So I have a feeling that someone is pushing a false narrative on Ghanaians. Okay, I do not think that what the LI is seeking to do is to restrict or take away such privileges which are entitled to every Ghanaian from the Speaker and the Chief Justice. What the previous LI, contained was that ministers, members of Parliament, Chief Justice, and the Speaker of Parliament could fit sirens and strobe lights on their vehicles as long as these are official vehicles. And we said no, they could not do that. The old LI said that these persons will also be exempted from speed limits. And we said no, they could not do that because these are not what they are trying to practice. It's not done in any civilized jurisdiction. Okay, so if you have removed that from there, you have taken them that they can no longer fit strobe lights and sirens on their official vehicles. It does not constitute to taking away the privilege of using motorcades. Motorcades are normally, escort services are normally provided by the police. So these persons can use such services anytime they deem fit, or in the event of an emergency, they can fall on it, including members of Parliament and ministers. So I don't know the kind of false narrative they are trying to push on Ghanaians by saying that some of the things I heard in Parliament today were so annoying, I have to just contain myself. I don't have to get emotional about it. But if you say that our members of Parliament are cowards, if you go ahead and say that we are treating them low, what are you talking about? So does it mean that now that they are attempting a coup on the Republic by saying that we will not assent to this LI until you add the people we think they deserve it to win? Isn't that amounting to a coup? I mean, what they are trying to do doesn't happen anywhere in the US. Okay? Strobe lights and sirens are reserved for security agencies and emergency services, the president and the vice. In the UK, it's same. In every advanced jurisdiction, this is the limit. All others needing road privileges fall on the police for escort services. So what new thing have we pushed on our MPs for them to, as it were, bash us from the Speaker's high office to the floor member in Parliament. I think that it is very, very shameful for them to argue in this manner. If they are able to tell us that in the West, things work so well, their roads are so nice because they pay road tolls. And for that matter, introducing road tolls for us to pay is a good thing. Then they should copy the things that the West have also done, tried and tested over time into our country, and not, stage a coup on the Republic, on the people of Ghana.
But Nanaya, these emergency situations that you mentioned, will it not be prudent to have for these categories of persons to have the sirens and strobe lights, so that in a case or the event of an emergency, they will not have to go through all the bureaucracies to get the escort from the police service?
My brother, let's stretch this argument a bit. Why will it not be okay for me to have a strobe light and a siren on my car? When my family member experiences an emergency, I can just put them in my car and drive them off to the hospital, the nearest emergency care. Why should that not be possible? And it should be possible for the MP. I mean, let's look. In my argument, I told you that these are tried and tested in very civilized and advanced jurisdictions. We cannot seek to be doing something different. Okay? We as individuals and citizens also have emergencies sometimes. Okay? And everybody has one life. It's not as if we the citizens, we in streetman language, we can die. The MP cannot die. No, we all have one life. So if we want to do something, let us be civil. Let us follow world's best practice in doing whatever we are doing. When and if there is an emergency, may he so rest in peace. When Professor Atta Mills, when he passed, there was an emergency session in Parliament. Everybody got there. Everybody was there. How did they get there? So we should not be doing this to ourselves. We all experience emergency at one. They are even privileged. How many Ghanaians can pick a phone and call police, the district police office commander, and say, I need an escort to A or B? But they, as members of Parliament, they are in a privileged position. If they need it, let them get an escort. Let the police pave the way for you. Let the police prepare the minds of other road users before you reach there, with whatever speed you are going. But to say that we should fit this on your car because you anticipate that in the distant future you might need it, then everybody should be allowed to put a siren and a strobe light on his car, because we are all prone to having an emergency at one point or the other in our lives.
Granted,
okay?
But granted.
So this I cannot say that I will not allow them to pass this law. Who am I? I'm sitting in my small corner somewhere. Who am I to say I cannot allow Parliament to do it? But if they go ahead and smuggle the Chief Justice and the Speaker of Parliament into it, it will amount to a coup against the people. And we are hoping that the people of Ghana are watching. And if this Parliament does this, they must pay for it.
Very well. I mean, I can understand and agree that we are all human and have one life. But you would also agree with me that the roles we play in society are not the same, won't you?
Certainly. The role I play, you don't play that role, do you?
Obviously
and
not.
All of us cannot be MPs.
True.
All of us cannot be MPs. True. All of us cannot be Chief Justices. Okay? And are you suggesting to me that on the basis of the role they play, we should we should allow them to fit strobe lights and sirens on their vehicles? We should allow them to speed in any way, anyhow, exempt them from speeding? Is that what you are telling me? Because they are Speaker of Parliament or they are Chief Justice,
MPs or ministers? But no, but then again, if I go with your argument, then it means that all other privileges they enjoy should be extended to Ghanaians or other Ghanaians as well.
I have not said that. You made the argument. You made the argument that they should have that they should have the ability to fit these strobe lights on their vehicles. In any case, that is not the argument in Parliament today. The argument in Parliament today is that they've been exempted from using motorcades, which is not true. Okay? Which is not true. And if that is true, then somebody is being mischievous by putting that in a law. Because nobody is exempted in our country from using motorcade. Nobody. Why don't you? Yes, nobody. All you need is a permit. That's all you need to use a motorcade. If you want an escort, all you need is to reach out to the police for an escort.
Very well.
Escort services. So the speaker cannot be exempted. The Chief Justice has not been exempted. And that's the argument on the floor. And I'm saying that if you argue that they will have an emergency in a distant future, then I tell you, we will all have an emergency in a distant future. Do you know the value that we place on emergency? The value you place on if someone is going to Parliament because an e-levy law must be passed at all costs to save the country from grinding to a halt, and if you are panting for breath, in the next 4 minutes your life will be snuffed out of you, which one would you attend to? The passing of the e-levy or your life? Both are emergencies, aren't they? So it has nothing to do with what role you are playing in society. All it has to do is that we need a sense of order and discipline on our roads. And to have that sense of order and discipline, we must follow best practice. And I'm telling you that in advanced jurisdictions, in countries older than our country, this is the way they have gone. So if we copy them in our taxing systems, we copy them in so many other things, we should not leave that side and do different things, which will bring chaos. It's that simple. I don't know why we should even be here arguing this for 10 and 5 minutes. The truth or the fact of the matter is that what we are trying to do is not done anywhere. Emergency lights, sirens and strobe lights are always in most advanced jurisdiction reserved to the president and vice, and the security agencies and emergency services. There is a reason for doing that. So we should not attempt to defeat that purpose. If Parliament decide that they will stage a coup and throw the people's will out of the window and do what they deem fit, that is on them. But to be on record, and I am praying that the citizenry will punish them for this, because it is shameful.
Very well, Doc. Thank you so much for your time this evening. We wish you well.
Thank you.
All right. Dr. Nanaya Akwada is Chief of Party, Bureau of Public Safety, speaking to us regarding the new road traffic legislation laid in Parliament that exempts the Speaker and the Chief Justice from the privileges inherent in their relationship.